Michael Plette,
Christopher.
you entered the Be the Match registry on a Sunday at the Bridge, January of 2023. Did a little cheek swab.
Yep.
And then almost 2 years later, right after Christmas 2024, you were contacted by Be the Match and said that you had been a match to someone who needed stem cells.
That's right.
Yeah. What were you told about the person who needed help?
It was pretty much a 1.5 sentence email. It basically said, you've been matched. There's a 53-year-old male that needs your stem cells. From there, they called us and they said, hey, are you willing to do this? And my answer was immediately yes.
Well, a number of people in our church family, myself included,
Sure.
have been saved by somebody doing what you did.
Sure.
And so a number of us are very interested in what that process is like from your end. We're very grateful, but just walk us through, what does it look like to donate stem cells that can save somebody else's life?
So after they draw your blood, you do a physical, they do all those things, they finally tell you, yes, you're a match.
So they send you on a vacation, basically. This was
Yeah.
a weekend getaway to Washington, D.C.
That's right. So Meredith and I got to go to Washington, D.C., and we actually convinced them to let us go a couple days early to go visit some of Meredith's family up there. We got to see the cherry blossoms. I've never been to D.C. We did all the Capitol and all that fun stuff and touring everything. It was a ton of fun. And then a couple days later, we go into the hospital and we do the surgery. They recommended full anesthesia for that, so obviously we went with that. And they do the bone marrow, and you come out, you recover, and they send you home. And then just a little bit sore, but after that, it was a non-issue. I was back to work. I think I missed maybe 2 days of work on the front end just so we could spend time with my other family up there.
What was the most challenging part?
I don't know, just slowing down for a little bit, taking a breather. We've got 2 kids. I was in the middle of a job transition. I was studying for exams. I was doing all that, and
So it's been more than a year since you donated.
it has.
Do you know anything about your recipient now?
Yeah, so we've exchanged a couple emails. I haven't called the guy yet, but I wrote him a letter and basically, tell him that this has been a great opportunity to talk to our kids about what it means to give, what it means to sacrifice, what it means to pray for somebody, what it means to really invest your life into someone else. And it's been good conversation with friends and family. And so I got to tell him all that, which was, a good thing. And I got to tell my kids about it and that, hey, we heard from Jay again. And so he wrote back and exchanged a couple emails there. He's in full remission. He is very much grateful for that. He's got his first grandson that he got to see born, and then he's got another one on the way. And so his kids are obviously grateful for that, and he's getting to relive those, or live a part of his life that he didn't know if he was going to be able to live or not. So just hearing that I was able to make a difference, and that God's provisions were there, and we were able to do that as a family and go through that, was a great experience for us.
What is your big takeaway from that experience?
Yeah, it goes back to where I started. If someone asks for help, it's pretty easy to say yes. If you've got something that someone can give, it's easy to give it. I think time, we talk about this a lot at church, the time, talent, and treasure. And so I think a lot of people are protective of those things. And I think for me, it was easy to hold all 3 of those things with an open hand during this process. It didn't cost us any money, but it did cost us a lot of time, and it did affect our family, and it did do all those things. But holding those things loosely, they're not ours to start with. Those are gifts from God. And so I think my big takeaway would be able to encourage someone else to do the same. If you're being asked to do something or being asked to make a little bit of sacrifice, it's probably worth considering.
And I would assume that the physical discomfort and the inconvenience
Sure.
is far outweighed by the knowledge that another human being has your blood,
Yeah.
and it's keeping him alive.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
It's really weird, actually.
Yeah, what a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you did.
Thanks.
And praying others will do the same.